So for this video, I'm going to be looking at the Six of Cups. And this is a card that has a lot of hope. It has a lot of inspiration. It's a very uplifting card. And I really love working with this card and really pondering this card over this period of time. So you have two people here, one person giving the other person flowers. So they're giving them a gift. And the thing about this card is you can tell that there are some things going on because there's a man in the back walking around with a spear. And so there are some things going on. This building is guarded, and maybe there is a situation that is surrounding this event. And it's like that in our lives sometimes where there are things going on, but maybe we can still find that spark of joy within that. Or we can find those things that uplift us regardless of what the circumstances are. And I love that. I love that that is a part of this card. And it's almost like stop to smell the roses when even when things are tough. And that can be difficult to do, but if we focus on it, it's very healing. So just like in the Five of Cups, where you go back and you heal your childhood and you heal the things in the past that were damaged or broken, you can also use the beautiful things in your past, the memories you have of your family, your friends, your and in school or wherever you have these great memories, you can use those as well to heal the present. And that's something that no one can take away. There are many things in our lives that we can get, material things, but sometimes memories are the ones that we hold dear to and that really do stay with us. In the Tarot Z, you have someone that is in a very dark area, but look at the house in the background. So that house is symbolic of somewhere within your mind or within your consciousness where you feel safe, a place where you can go that is secure. And I think everyone needs that. Everyone needs that support from their past, from their younger self. So, you have different situations. Like here in the Money Tarot, you have the adult teaching the student, but the student can also teach the adult, can teach the teacher. It can go in both directions. I love in the 78 Tarot Mythical how if you take a close look here, there's growth going on, there's knowledge being shared, but look at where they're at. They're in this stagnant water. There are all these things going on that are maybe a little bit darker and you can't really see in the midst of that water. You can't see through it. It's not very clean or clear, but they're smiling and there's a lot of joy there. And I know that that can be tough sometimes to have joy during a difficult time. And sometimes the challenge might be so much that it's just not possible and you have to go through it. But there are other times where you can find nuggets of things that will help you get through. And there are things that will help you get through. And if you can hold on to those things, if it's possible, then continue to rely on that and to go back to that and use it as a source of strength during times that are tough. So I love in the Science Tarot, it says return to the sea. So this is the story of whales and dolphins and how they came from the sea and they went onto land when things were difficult, when there were difficult times, and they took advantage of the resources there. But then as the land dried up and the resources got pretty sparse on land, they went back to the sea. And they kept some of the things that they learned. They kept some of the good things that they had, such as breathing with lungs, having live childbirth, and feeding their young milk. And things that set them apart from other animals in the ocean are vital to their survival, are vital to the way that they can flourish in a different way within this ecosystem. And so the same thing with you, with the experiences that you've had. If you go back to some of those things and you look at them, there are valuable tools that you might have that you can also use today. I love the Shimmering Veil Tarot, and I want to read from this. But in the Shimmering Veil Tarot, you see someone with their hand over their heart looking at this lush field back here with two kids with, I think, balloons and playing and having a wonderful time. So looking back on the nostalgic times in our lives. I did that the other day, and I was thinking back to a time where there was a birthday party that I went to. It was at an arcade, and the sounds of the arcade and the the pizza parlor next door, the smell of the pizza, and how we went and we ate pizza after we played all the games, and we had tons of quarters and just had a great time. And I immersed myself in that moment, and I felt really good. This life is such a wonderful experience. We're meant to experience joy in life. Take a look at all the beautiful things that life has to offer. And then when we look back at them, sometimes even the tough things can give us a sense of hope. And so I'm going to go ahead and read this from the Shimmering Veil Tarot. And it says, the card is traditionally seen as a nostalgic recollection of the past. In retrospect, it seems ideal. It could be, however, that your memory of your childhood is less pleasant. In this case, the backward looking may indicate relief as it is passing. Looking back can bring healing. A review of the past may be useful at whatever age. Western society has little tolerance or understanding of aging, but its consolations of wisdom and clarity allow us to become or grow more confident. And notwithstanding cultural prejudices, it is possible to regain hope and joy. Indeed, we can change direction at any time and find new life, new friends, even a new career at whatever age. So I think that that's a really beautiful way to see it. So the element that I want to look at before we go is osmium. And osmium's name comes from the Greek root word osmi, which means to smell. And so it kind of reminds me of that saying, to stop and smell the roses. And, you know, on the Six of Cups, they're kind of smelling these flowers here during this time. And that's important. It's important to stop and take note of our surroundings, to take note of the beautiful things around us. And so osmium's name reminds me of that. But osmium, more importantly, was one of the elements that kind of didn't have a significant role for a while. And it wasn't until we started looking at brain cells that it kind of stepped up and now it plays a very key role in analyzing neurons or brain cells. And we didn't really know what neurons look like. We didn't really know that they were these individual cells for a while. And we developed methods of staining these cells using different techniques. And osmium is used in one of those techniques to stain the axon, specifically because it has a sheath over it called a myelin sheath. And it can attach to that so that we can actually see what those axons and the different parts of the neuron fully look like.
The final step in tissue preparation is staining. Contrast in electron microscopy is enhanced using heavy metals.
Putting this metal on there, because it's so dense, when we put it through when we shine light through a microscope, the light bounces off of the dense areas. And so it creates that image.
Deposits of heavy metals in the sections deflect the electron beam. This area of the tissue will appear black in electron microscopy because no electrons have activated the emission of visible light from the fluorescent screen. These areas are referred to as being electron dense.
And we're able to form a picture of what this looks like.
When electrons impinge on the screen, secondary light rays are emitted and form an image. The resulting image is seen through a window at the bottom of the column.
And I think that when we have darkness surrounding things in our lives, and it's hard to really focus on the good aspects, the good things, the good memories, sometimes it takes a bit of effort, and it takes a little bit of our light to shine in that area, to shine in that darkness, to actually find those things. And we have to kind of make a bit of an effort. And it's difficult at times, I know, because I mean, look at the surroundings on these cards. But it can be very helpful and benefit us a lot once we've done that. And so that's kind of what osmium reminds me of. It reminds me of a way to really shed light on something that might be a little bit harder to see, to focus on something that might be a bit hidden, and bringing what that is to light and being able to understand it and how it can help you heal. Being able to find healing within something that you weren't able to really utilize fully, if you know what I mean. It's something that we often overlook. It's something that, because things can become so tense and so stressful, we leave it in the background, in the shadow. But there's always the possibility to turn things around. So that's what I wanted to talk about in regards to the Six of Cups and osmium. And hopefully that was helpful. And I think that it's important to remember that there are two parts to this. So there is the Five of Cups. And if you haven't watched that video, go ahead and take a look at that one. And then there is the Six of Cups. The Five of Cups is maybe healing our inner wounds. And the Six of Cups, I feel, is more letting those beautiful things within us, focusing on those to heal a current situation and to help us to be uplifted in a time of need. Both of those things can work together. Not being so serious all the time, being able to kind of let go. And we were able to do it as kids. Sometimes I remember as a kid being able to, even when things were tough, find something that made us laugh, find something that we could do that would bring us joy. Even if we didn't have the money for it or the resources for it, sometimes those were the funnest things that we did. And one of the things you can learn from that is no matter what, there can be joy there. There can definitely be hope there. So thank you so much. My name is Will. Thank you for watching Atypical Tarot, and I'll see you next time. Bye.